Hello everybody, Damien from Flowforge here, trying a different content style today. This over here that you're seeing is everything I want to talk about, and we're not going to get to all of it. In fact, we have this timer here set for 15 minutes. I'm just going to talk about whatever I'll be able to talk about and whatever tangential thing comes to mind as we're talking about it, but this is a guide for me. Today's video is mostly going to be about billionaires. It's mostly going to be about people who build things that long outlast them. And they have very successful and fulfilling lives. This type of person is the person that you want to become, right? Well, this person, what actually separates you from them? Like, what makes you any different from them? And the answer is a lot of mindsets. Like, that's essentially the main thing, is these people have different mindsets and priorities. Okay? These people just choose how to use their time differently. And that is why they are where they are. And they have different expectations out of life, is what I've been able to find as well. Where the normal person, which, you're anything but normal, but we'll use you as an example. You probably value things right now. Like, if you have something where it can give you value right now, you want that thing, right? But this person understands the compound effect, and they have basically dedicated their entire life to enhancing their compound effect. So their success has been exponential, because at a very early point, they started thinking about how everything that they were doing is going to affect the next thing that they're doing. And they just keep doing this. And then eventually it just blows up, because everything that they've done is going to make their next project or whatever they are getting faster and better, right? And this is assets. This is how you make a lot of money, is by buying assets. And it's slow. It's really slow, but this effect of compounding interest is how you get places in life. And the way you design your life for this is you have to slow down. That is the first step. You have to slow down. And I want to talk about some billionaire psychology real quick. So these people, if you look at them, and you look at their kids and all that, they actually live extremely healthy lives. And you might think, well, they've got to be so busy. They've got to be extremely busy. And it's like, nope, they're not busy. They're not busy at all. They spend all the time in the world with their kids. And they pretty much get to do everything they want. And the reason why is because they spent their entire life doing this, where it's like they basically just optimized for their mental health. So what does this actually look like? Because how do you optimize for your mental health and then in a fast-paced world get things done? Well, these people are extremely intentional with their time, and this is the skill you want to build, is how can I be more intentional with my time? One option that you have is setting timers for things. Or tracking how long things actually take you. You would be surprised at how much time you waste on certain things where you're just like, where is all my time going? Essentially, these people have an obsession with creating more time, because time is power. Time is something, it's a currency that you can spend on things. So the way that you get more time is by being resourceful and being much more intentional, which is what you see this countdown right here doing. That's what it's for. And, it's a computer because I like computers. And that's another thing, is they optimize for fulfillment. And this is the productivity gurus don't want you to know this, but the entire point of productivity is fulfillment. It is, because productivity is about meeting goals. And if your main goal in life is probably, or should be, to live a fulfilling life. Like, this is what God intended for you. This is what you want. It's the most natural conclusion. Like, I just want to live a good life. Okay? And these people have been essentially non-negotiable about this. And I will temper that with there's balance, and you don't get to just live like this person when you are at a lower level than this person. Like, that's not how it works. You don't get to not have a day job and work on the day job for a long time, which is another mindset that these people have, is they're very willing to submit to slow processes. And this is how transformation works. Like, you are likely chasing the transformation that is rapid and immediate, and you're chasing the next thing, like the next big thing, the next thing that's going to move the needle, that's not how it works. You have to have a subtractive mindset, and this whole life thing is a project where you are basically sculpting away all of the noise. You're carving away the noise to reveal the real you. But you can only do this through being very intentional about what you want to become. And you have to throw everything else on the pyre, because opportunity and transformation and success only happens when you shut doors. In fact, 90% of opportunities are distractions in disguise. So you don't want them, because they're going to take away your time. You want life to be as simple as possible. And the way that the billionaire has made their life simple as possible is, one, like I said, they've sacrificed a lot. They only do their craft. They do everything that makes them more time. And they do optimize for fulfillment. Like, they have hobbies and things like that, but they've made sacrifices as to what they're willing to do. And one way that you can do this is by taking the hobbies that you have, if you're a multi-potentialite, multi-passionate, and just asking yourself, which one of these will actually serve me in the future, right? Like, which one of these is going to yield the highest results, but more importantly than that is your own fulfillment. So I will put that as a preface. I don't know how you say that word, but I'll put that ahead of that. So your own fulfillment is the most important factor, because that's what productivity is. Okay. And you have to live on the way. Like, you can't just sacrifice your entire life and then have like these 20 years of being a millionaire or a billionaire or something. Like, that's not how it works. Because by the time you've sacrificed so much to get there, you're going to get there and you're going to realize there's nobody left to help you. And you've lost everybody, you've lost everything, and you're basically a shut-in and a hermit, and you're just weird, right? Like, you don't fit in, and it's not good. And so this is another thing that billionaires value, is connectivity. And the reason they value connectivity is because connectivity equals essentially chemical reactions. So when you immerse yourself in a community of people who are all bettering themselves, that's fulfilling. For one, that's fulfilling. Secondly, this is also extremely productive in the sense that you're basically manufacturing luck. Like, if you are only surrounded by people who are actually doing what you want to do, then you're going to go much farther in life. So I highly recommend that you do an audit on your friends. And don't click off, because you can still be friends with the people that you care about. That's important for your fulfillment, right? But chances are there are a lot of friends that you have that don't really believe in you. They're always kind of dragging you down. They're always distracting you. And I'll say this. They're a real friend. They can be that way, but they're a real friend if they at least are willing to understand and be like, okay, bro, like I get it. You're doing this cool thing. You're trying to like get your life together, and I'm not really doing that right now. So that's cool. Like that's fine. You know, like if somebody like that's a real friend, even if because everybody chooses where they are and what they do in life, and you can't judge anybody for it unless it's obviously wrong. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with choosing to live a more simple and comfortable life at a lower income, or choosing like how people spend their time is up to them, and people maintain that sovereignty over themselves. So there's no reason to judge somebody just because they don't aim as high as you, right? And that's perfectly fine. But if you want more out of life, if you want to get more out of life, I guarantee you just need to, like some people around you are probably toxic influences to your goals. And you can still connect with these people. You can still make time, but that's the secret, is you have to be very intentional with that time. And I do talk about on this channel a lot about how managing time with ADHD is much more fluid. It's much more about rhythm, pulse, and all that versus actually blocking it out. But you can combine them, and you can do both at the same time. Like this idea I had for the timer, somebody else gave it to me. I just decided to execute on it immediately, and that's that mental athleticism of just being able to pick a priority quickly, being able to experiment quickly, which is also fulfilling and creates chemical reactions. You're trying to optimize for these chemical reactions, and one of the things that helps this is just living a slow, fulfilling life. And if you can do that, then you're going to be all right. But you cannot do that unless you have a building mindset, unless you have the mindset of I am going to slowly populate my world with things that do work for me. That like this is why the billionaire has so much time, is because they don't work. They don't do any work. They have other things work for them. And the work that they do is they build things that work for them. So this could be automating something on your computer, and this could be hiring somebody to delegate something, like just getting it out of your way. You don't have to do it anymore, or simplifying, optimizing a process by making it much, much, much simpler. I just did this with my video editor. I had a video editor that wasn't very good. I spent a lot of time fiddling around with programs and all this, and so I said, screw it, I'm just going to get rid of this video editor, and I'm going to go with one that basically only lets me do jump cuts. And so that's what I'm rocking with now. I will get the talking head up in the corner again. I have a solution for that, but that hasn't been implemented yet. I'll get back to you guys on that. But let's see here. So I don't have much time left. So I just want to wrap this up like with what we've actually covered here. The whole message of all of this is that you want to optimize for a life of fulfillment. And that means not being busy. And if you want to actually be productive, understand that productivity is about fulfillment and, spending time with people who are actually going to help you, spending time with your family, doing things that inspire you, and then being extremely intentional about where you spend your resources, your cash, your time, your heart. That's a huge one. Like, where are you going to put your emotional value in life? Are you going to leave it with toxic people? Are you going to leave it with toxic processes? Or are you going to do things that are different? Build systems, build your life piece by piece. That's what I've got for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching. If you want mentorship, there's a Calendly link in the description below. We'll just talk about wisdom, and we'll talk about things going on in your life. It's a simple conversation, and then if you liked it and you decide that you want to work with me, it's $50 from there, but you don't have to. In fact, I would love to just talk to you. So go ahead and click that. And if you want a community of people that you can chemically react with that can help you, go ahead and join our Discord. Because that's what I'm building this Discord to be, is a group of people who are all serving each other and being essentially a productivity system itself. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Peace.